I am someone who is very particular about romantic comedies, especially when it comes to anime and manga. Oftentimes, the humor feels too outdated, too reliant on sexism and tired tropes to ever really stick the landing for me. From shoujo to shounen, I've been struggling to find something in the genre that I could actually enjoy. That was until my partner casually recommended me a series I had never heard anyone talk about. MARRIAGETOXIN, an ongoing romantic comedy series that began publishing in 2022 for Jump Plus, is incredibly unique, heartfelt, and funny, succeeding on all fronts as a rom-com for its intended demographic. But this isn't because it's a tropey harem series. With 7 potential love interests and a diverse supporting cast, MARRIAGETOXIN stands out as it is ultimately a character study series that highlights love in its many forms while exploring many different facets of identity and otherness in a conformist society. I feel like the synopsis fails to do the series justice. Pulled from Viz Media, Poison Master Hikaru Gero is about to take on his most challenging assignment yet, getting married. But after training his entire life to become one of the world's deadliest assassins, Gero couldn't be more clueless when it comes to the art of dating. Thankfully, marriage swindler Mei Kinosaki knows everything there is to know about love, and together, this unlikely pair is going to do whatever it takes to get Gero hitched, even if they have to take on the entire criminal underworld in the process. While the series does focus much of its plot on Gero's search for love, it really functions as a means of self-actualization for one of the most likable modern rom-com protagonists, and most of the other characters too. Its writing leads towards the love side of the spectrum rather than the love-hina end, if you catch my drift. Each character that is to have a relationship with Gero is given their own arc, with a fleshed-out backstory and narrative that endears them not only to the leading man but to the audience. And I mean every kind of relationship, from familial to platonic to potentially romantic. It's difficult to pick a favorite amongst the diverse cast, as every dynamic is truly special. Whoever the newest arcs focus on is of no importance to me because I know every character is going to be written well. This brings me to the humor of MARRIAGETOXIN. It always works. From charming contradictions like weaponized hamsters to hysterical visual gags, the series got many genuine laughs out of me, without ever degrading the women. Far too many times, even in modern rom-coms, have I seen casual sexism and misogyny masquerading as jokes. Even in series that do treat their leading ladies well, it's all too common for their main premise to insist upon itself and drag on for hundreds of chapters. I can happily say this is not the case for MARRIAGETOXIN. As of the time of recording this, the series is 124 chapters in, and still manages to surprise me. Beyond being a brilliant rom-com, MARRIAGETOXIN is also an action series, and I cannot do the fights justice by just describing them. Each action sequence is engaging and clever, with the unique power system of clans and users of certain specialties used in incredibly creative ways. The dynamic paneling is easy to follow and keeps the plot and character moments going. It all feels like a perfectly choreographed dance. It isn't like the action outweighs any of the comedy relationship developments, though. The intense physicality of these scenes lend themselves to superb visual gags, and because, like I said, they are so much like a dance, each character must find their footing, mirroring how they find themselves and grow as an individual. There are 3 characters in particular that come to mind here, but honestly, every fight adds so much to the story and hints at a much larger narrative that has been slowly unfolding since the early chapters. Something that I think is worth mentioning is how the series values otherness, from unusual skills to isolation to queerness. The characters are, for the most part, outsiders who yearn for connection, struggling with their sense of self. By existing on the literal criminal fringes of Japan, as well as living and dealing with facets of themselves which go against the grain of the country's conformist culture, the characters are able to find community with each other, slowly brought together in a vibrant social web thanks to Gero's insistence on growing not only for love but himself. One of the most poignant scenes in any manga I've recently read comes from how the series celebrates connections amongst outcasts, highlighting how important it is to come to terms with who you are while celebrating that love can be found amongst friends too. To circle back to my mention of queerness, though, I think MARRIAGETOXIN has some of the best representation I've ever seen. Queerness is not something that's given the Disney treatment here, so queer people simply exist, and that's the end of it. These aren't spoilers since this is revealed right away, but the reason for Gero's marriage quest is because his clan expects an heir, and his sister's a lesbian. She is in a happy, loving relationship and almost threw it all the way to conform to her family's wishes before Gero stepped in. In the same chapters, you meet Kinosaki Mei, who is revealed to be a cross-dresser. He still uses he/him pronouns, but is comfortable enough with his masculinity to dress up, which reminded me a lot of Princess Jellyfish. And honestly, Kinosaki is perhaps the most promising of the love interests to me, and the fact that he is a handsome man who can look like a pretty woman adds a lot to the story. His presence and security in his identity also reveals that 2 characters are bisexual, which is not treated like a massive revelation, but something that is just natural. To me, more series should aim for this casual yet caring representation. Marriage Toxin is something truly special, and I feel that I would be happy however it ends, whether Gero finds love or rejects the pressure put on him by his clan altogether. With competent writing, wonderful characters, and fantastic action, I'm giving this hidden gem a 5 out of 5. Thank you all for watching, and see you soon.